What is up, guys? This is Zix here from Magna Crypto, back again with another video, and today's video is a personal favorite of mine, a topic that I find quite interesting, and that is money, and in particular the history of money. And hopefully after watching this video you'll have a different understanding of money and where it came from. Firstly, I would like to explain my kind of concept of money. And that is, money is a bit of a middleman. I mean, if you think about it, you work hard, you produce goods, provide services, and in exchange, you park your output, your work output, in this middle ground, and that is money. So your work output, the kind of energy you put into whatever you're doing, whatever value you're providing, you park it into money, so it stays there until it's used to do something else, whether that's to buy some new goods, to pay for a service, or for some experiential value. It could be to go on holiday, for example. So money is kind of like a middleman. It holds your work, the work you've done, your work output, it holds it until it can be used to be traded for something else, a good, a service, or something else. But what was it like before? How did trade occur before? What was the economy like before this? And the system that was used before money was called a bartering system, and this is where basically you trade goods directly for one another. So an easy visual example I can give you is, let's say I produce bananas and my neighbor produces mangoes. So what would happen is, let's say I want those mangoes, he wants my bananas. We would trade the bananas for the mangoes for one another, and it's simple as that. Let's say the other neighbor has wool. Again, depending on how much we think each item is worth, maybe I would give him more bananas for a bit of wool to make some clothing, for example. And this would normally happen in a market. So you would take your goods that you produce, whatever it may be, and you take it to the market, and then you trade it for whatever it is that you want. But the issue arises, and that is something called the coincidence of wants. And what that is basically the chances of someone having what you want at the same time that you have what they want. So let's say, again, back to the bananas and mangoes, let's say we did actually want each other's goods, but my bananas, are grown in this season, but his mangoes are grown in the next season. So when my bananas have been grown and they're ripe and ready to sell, he doesn't have the mangoes ready, so I can't exchange the goods because his is not ready. And so that coincidence of wants, when both our goods are ready at the same time, is a low chance. So that was a big issue with this bartering system, and that that system has a big gap in it, as you can tell. And that's when money came into the picture. There was a need for money somewhere where you could park your output and trade it for something in the middle and then trade it for the thing that you want. So as I said before, there was a need for a middleman, and that's where money came into the picture. So the way money evolved was, initially people used tokens like shells, like maybe pebbles, certain types of rocks, maybe certain types of bone. There was a lot of different tokens people used as a form of money. So obviously the more tokens you have, the more money you have. So as time went on, that evolved into coins and things like that. So the money solved the problem of the coincidence of wants, because you didn't have to wait for a particular season where everyone had their goods ready. You can just convert your goods whenever you make it into money, and it can be used, money, you can hold it for a long time. Now let's go into the conditions of money, like what conditions does something need to have for it to be good money. And you maybe can tell a little bit from what I've said already. So it's got to be non-perishable, so durable. It's got to last a long time. Like you wouldn't be able to use, a carton of juice for money because it would go off very quickly. It's got to be accepted. It's got to be accepted within your community, however large that community is. Because if no one accepts your token, then it's worthless. You can't trade it for anything, so it's worthless. It's got to be convenient and portable, so it's got to be easily transportable. If it's a little rock, you can take loads of those rocks and take them anywhere, or little shells, very easily you can put it in your pocket and take it anywhere. But if you're talking about a 2-ton rock, that's quite difficult to transport. So it's got to be convenient and easy to take around. And then lastly, it needs to have a limited supply. And the reason for this is because if there's something that's plentiful, it loses its value. It's not as precious. When you think about gold, one of the reasons why it's precious is because it's limited supply. There's not a lot of it. You actually have to look really hard to find gold. But if you look at sand, for example, if you sand is money, it's absolutely everywhere. You can get buckets of it, so it loses its value completely. So those are the conditions for money, and it's evolved over time to from tokens, rock shells, to coins. It turned into precious metals, tended to be the main form of money. Gold and silver was the de facto standard, and then it evolved. People, started to form banks where people had loads of gold and silver, and they used, notes to represent a certain weight. Instead of carrying around tons of gold, you can just carry around a paper which is a token, or it can be exchanged for that gold, whatever weight that is. So that's how it evolved into notes and currencies and things that represented the gold and silver. And then a significant event happened in the 1970s where President Nixon decided to take the dollar off the gold standard. And what that meant was, a dollar you can't trade the dollar you can't go to the bank with a dollar note, however much it may be, and trade it back for its gold. Now the currency was free. It was untied to the weight of gold, untied any physical precious metal, and so it essentially became unlimited in supply. It could be printed however much the government wanted or central bank wanted, and that's how it's been ever since the 1970s. And it's had some interesting effects on the economy, some good and some bad, and we'll talk about that in future videos. Now money has also evolved slightly, going back to my main topic, cryptocurrencies, because this is the first time where you're able to have a digital asset, able to own something online, completely digital, and it not being copied or like a Word document. It's completely it can be owned and stored on your PC. And it's meeting some of the conditions for money, but not quite all of them yet. So is it convenient and portable? Yes, you can store it on a USB and take an unlimited or a very, very large amount and take it anywhere around the world in your pocket. Is it durable? Yes. At the moment, as I said, you can store it in something as small as a USB. Could also be a hard drive, so you can keep it as protected as you want. Can it be broken? It can be broken, but it's fairly durable if you're careful with it. Is it in limited supply? Yes, some are and some are not. So like Bitcoin, there's only 21 million that will ever be in existence. So that's quite scarce, which is a good thing. This will mean it will hold more of its value. And is it acceptable? It's not widely acceptable, not yet. So that is still got some way to go. People aren't as familiar with cryptocurrencies just yet. The education is not there yet. And it's also quite difficult to use. There's quite a lot of steps for you to buy crypto, to store it, to take it around. So there's still quite a long way to go, but time will reveal all, and we'll see whether these conditions are all met. But it's definitely got potential to become money. So that'll be all for today. I hope you got value from this video and you've got a different understanding of money. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on all the social media channels, and have yourself a lovely day. Peace out.